understand scalar product or dot product of two vectors. Let's say we have two vectors, vector A and vector B, and we wish to find out what is the scalar product of these two vectors. Scalar product of two vectors has been defined like vector A dot vector B, that is how it is represented. This is equal to magnitude of vector A multiplied by magnitude of vector B into cos theta. Theta is the angle between the two vectors, theta is the smaller angle between the two vectors. If this is vector A, this is vector B. So if we say this is 30 degree, then 30 degree is the angle between the two, as well as 330 degree also, that is the angle between the two vectors. So when we say cos theta, theta is the smaller angle between the two vectors. How to use it now? We know along the x-axis we have unit vector as I cap, along the y-axis we have j cap or minus j cap, this way it is we have minus I cap. So let's find out first the dot product of two vectors, that is two unit vectors I dot I. Let's say we have to find I dot I cap. What is that? I dot I cap is, that is magnitude of 1. What is the magnitude of this vector? Magnitude is 1 only. Multiplied by, once again, I dot I, the magnitude of this vector, second vector. B vector over here is now this, A vector is now this. Magnitude of unit vector is 1 only into cos theta. What is the angle between these two vectors? I cap is here, I cap is also here. The angle is 0 only. So it is cos 0 degree. So this is cos 0, we know equal to 1. So this comes out to be 1 only. See, this is a scalar quantity. This is not a vector quantity. There is no I, j, k term, etc. Similarly, if we have to find j dot j, so j cap is in this direction. Magnitude is going to 1 only. So 1 into magnitude of this j cap, it is once again 1 only. And the angle between the two vectors is 0. So it is cos 0 is going to be equal to 1 only. If we talk about k cap is unit vector along the positive z axis. So k cap dot k cap is once again 1 into 1 into cos 0 is equal to 1. But what about unit vectors along the two different axes? That is I cap dot j cap. Suppose we have to find out. So I cap dot j cap is, where is I cap? I cap is, this is x-axis, this is y-axis. I cap is in this direction, j cap is in this direction. So the angle between the two is going to be 90 degree only. You move a vector parallel to itself, then obviously the angle is going to be 90 degree only. So I cap dot j cap is magnitude of 1, that is I cap, and magnitude of other into 1 into the angle between the two, that is cos 90 degree. Cos 90 degree is equal to 0. So this comes out to be 0 only. Similarly, if you have to find j dot I, j is this way, I is this way. So obviously once again it is 1 into 1 cos 90 is going to be equal to 0 only. Any two vectors which are aligned at an angle of 90 degree, they will have a scalar product of 0 because the angle between the two vectors is 90 and cos 90 is equal to 0. If we have one vector as I cap and the other vector is minus I cap, then what is scalar product of these two unit vectors? So we have I cap over here in this direction and we have a minus I cap over here. Whether we write it over here, we can also write it over here also, that is minus I cap. It is going to be minus I cap in this direction. So this is also minus I cap, this is also minus cap, I cap. It is not necessary, that is if we have to write minus I cap, we have to make it in this quadrant only. That is not necessary, right? So we can have one I cap unit vector in this direction, we have a other unit vector in this direction, that is minus I cap, and we have to find the scalar product of these two vectors. So scalar product, we know that is A dot B is going to be magnitude of A into magnitude of B and the smaller angle between the two, cos of that. So in this case, I dot minus I cap is going to be magnitude of 1 into magnitude of other. And what is the angle between the two? We move a vector parallel to itself, so this comes like this. So minus I cap is in this direction and the angle between the two vectors is going to be 180 degree. So it is going to be cos 180 degree only. Over here, don't say minus I. The magnitude is going to be 1 only. That is magnitude of this is 1, magnitude of minus I cap, that is also 1. And the angle between the two is cos 180 and cos 180 is minus 1. So it comes out to be minus 1. So I dot minus I cap is going to be minus 1. And similarly, j dot minus j, that is also going to be minus 1. K dot minus k cap, that is also going to be minus 1. and if we have two vectors which are aligned perpendicular to each other, then their scalar product is going to be equal to 0. It means I dot j cap is going to be equal to 0, j cap dot I cap is going to be equal to 0, I cap dot k cap, that is going to be equal to 0, k cap dot I cap, that is going to be equal to 0. So all these cases where the two vectors, they are aligned at an angle of 90 degree with each other, their scalar product is going to be equal to 0. Now let's take some simple cases to find the scalar product of two vectors. Let's say we have a vector over here which is 2i cap plus 3j cap, and vector B is 3i cap plus 5j cap. So what we do is we write, that is, what is the scalar product is given as A dot B is equal to magnitude of A into magnitude of B into cos theta, that is the angle between the two. So over here, if we have to find the A dot B vector, it means we also have to find 2i plus 3j cap dot 3i cap plus 5j cap. This we have to find out. We don't have to go to this level. We can easily find by solving this only. So 2i cap dot 3i cap, we multiply this by this. So what does come out to be? 2 into 3, 6. I cap dot I cap is, we know it is going to be equal to 1 only. Plus, we multiply this with this, 2i now with 5j. 2 into 5 going to be 10, but I cap dot j cap, that is going to be equal to 0, because both of them, they are mutually perpendicular to each other. Then coming to this, 3j cap. 3j cap dot 3i cap, once again j and I, they are mutually perpendicular to each other, so their dot product will be equal to 0. Now coming to 3j and 5j, they are in the same direction, so it is going to 3 into 5, 15. J cap dot j cap is going to be equal to 1, we have just done. So its answer is going to be 6 plus 15, that is 21 units. So A dot B is going to be 21, purely a scalar quantity. So this is a scalar quantity, it doesn't have any direction, so that's why it is called a scalar product. If we have a vector, let's say now in terms of I cap also, j cap also and k cap also, that is A is equal to 2i plus j cap plus 3k cap, and vector B, suppose it is I cap plus 2j cap plus 4k cap. We have to find what is A dot B. So in the same manner we can do it, that is A dot B is equal to, first write the A vector 2i cap plus j cap plus 3k cap dot I cap plus 2j cap plus 4k cap. Multiply I with I, j with j and k with k. If you multiply I with j, then their dot product is going to be equal to 0 because they are mutually perpendicular. Similarly, the same thing goes for the other vectors which are aligned perpendicular to each other. So I with I, so it is going to 2 into 1 plus 1 into 2 plus 3 into 4. So A dot B is going to be 16 units. And making use of the dot product of two vectors, we can also find the angle between these two vectors also. Like over here, we have said A dot B comes out to be like this. We have found it. And now let's say we have to find the angle between these two vectors. So we make use of this. So far we have been directly doing I dot I is equal to 1, j dot j is equal to 1, and we had solved it. We had found the dot product of these two vectors. But in case we are interested in finding what is the angle between the two vectors, so what we do is we make use of this expression, that is A dot B is equal to magnitude of A into magnitude of B into cos theta. Do we know A dot B in this case? Yes, we know A dot B in this case is 21. So this comes out to be 21 is equal to magnitude of A. Do we know the magnitude of A? Certainly. This implies magnitude of A is going to be this square, that is 2 square plus 3 square. That is how we have been finding the magnitude. Similarly, the magnitude of B vector is going to be under root of 3 square plus 5 square. So if we have to find the angle between the two vectors, we make use of this expression. A dot B we have already calculated. So magnitude of A now we know, that is it is under root of 2 square plus 3 square into magnitude of B, we know it is 3 square plus 5 square into cos theta, So we can solve it, that is 21 is equal to, this is 9 plus 4, 13, and this is 9 plus 25 cos theta. So 21 by this is root 13 and this is 34 is equal to cos theta. So theta is equal to cos inverse of this. So we can find the angle also. So this can be used to find the angle between the two vectors. That is, we can use the dot product, that is A dot B is equal to magnitude of A into magnitude of B into cos theta to find the angle between the two vectors. And if you have to find just the dot product between the two vectors, multiply coefficient of I over here with the coefficient of I over here, that is I multiply with I. We know that is dot product of I and I, that is going to be equal to 1. J and J cap dot product is 1, K and K dot product is 1. So I with I, J goes with J, K goes with K, and this way you can find the dot product of the two vectors.